Hi. In this series of about 15 to 16 talks, I am going to explain the various concepts and lessons behind my book, Hurconomics. Hurconomics stands for Human Resource Economics. First of all, I think it sounds a little funny that for long years we have argued that human beings have unlimited talent, and the term resources really indicates the unlimited resource one has, and it cannot easily be measured in financial terms. For someone who for so many years argued like this, to write a book on reducing human resources to financial terms looks a little funny. But there is a reason behind my doing this work. Up to 1990s, prior to liberalization, we were in a different world. Post liberalization, I'm sure you would have watched in the first 5 years, we have become a lot more economy focused, money focused, and human resources have become a lot more accountable. Uh, if you realize between 19 and 97, 98, many organizations downsized themselves. And after downsizing, with the limited number of people that they had, they were expected to produce much higher results. In other words, human talent became a very focal point. Salaries went up, and what was something like costing to the company in 5 to 6 lakhs a year, CTC, in early 90s, has become 50 to 60 lakhs by about 1997-98. IT has taken over. The new economy industry, particularly the financials, the telecom sector, started taking a lead role, and oil sector has also changed. With this, talent became very expensive. It was very interesting, and people started asking the question, if I am paying so much to an employee, what am I getting in return? And therefore this has put an interesting burden on the HR people to recruit the right kind of talent, to nurture the talent, and to ensure that they get out of the talent. Unfortunately, it is a different story that a decade later, the turnover in HR people themselves has gone up, to indicate that good HR people were in short supply and they were required anywhere. It was around this time I wanted to communicate to people that we are treating the unlimited human resources in a limited way. But even if you treat in a limited way, you have every right to expect, when you are investing or when you are paying for the talent of a person, to expect the person to give something in return to the company. So that is how the concept of return on investment applied to human resources came into existence. Many people use it to ask, why should I invest on competency mapping? Why should I invest on assessment centers? Why should I invest on HR people at all? Why should I invest on performance appraisals and things of that kind? It was at this time it dawned on me that as I was observing the behavior and work behavior, particularly of people, we can measure, if we want to make a point, we can measure the work behavior of a person in economic terms. I came up with a very simple formula that if you are paying 10,000 rupees a month to an employee, you pay 10,000 rupees to a secretary. Let's say in 1990s you or late mid 90s, you probably would have paid about 10,000 rupees a month to a stenographer or a secretary, and later I think you would have paid 10,000 rupees a month even to a, a, a housekeeping employee in your the sweeper, or the person who a messenger, and the other kind of activities that are done by a person. Now it dawned on me that when you pay 10,000 rupees a month to an employee like a secretary, he or she is costing you 1 rupee a minute. And I started thinking about it. 1 rupee a minute means when a person to whom you are paying 10,000 rupees, a secretary, makes a 5-minute telephone call, what does it mean? That she is using 5 rupees of the company time. And she is making a 5-minute telephone call to, let us say, another secretary. It is both of them together spending about 10 rupees of the company's, respective company's time, plus the telephone cost, plus of course a whole series of things that are happening later. So a 15-minute tea break costs, if about 10 employees are breaking for tea for 15 minutes, is costing, and if they are all in 10,000 rupee bracket, which is not likely, I think the average salary of 10 people having a tea break for 15 minutes, we can count it as easily about 50,000 rupees. That means each one of them on an average are costing 5 rupees a minute, and 15 minutes would mean 75 rupees per head, and that means 750 rupees is the cost of tea break for 10 people. Then you can compute this. So what are we getting out of this? I think you want to all the time ask the question, return on investment. What are we getting from this particular return on investment? Then I started asking therefore this question, that if we respect people, the way to show respect is to respect their time. We don't waste the time of the other person. So you don't waste this time of 15-minute tea break. You want to use it productively, either for some personal benefit or for the organizational benefit. Of course, as I started calculating this, it also dawned on me a very interesting kind of a thing. That's when I came up with the concept, real cost of time, or COT. Real cost of time is the amount of money you pay divided by the number of minutes you expect the person to work. So if a person is paid 10,000 rupees, you expect about 160 to 170 hours of work in a month. So divide 10,000 by 165 to 170 hours, you get about 60 rupees an hour, which means about a rupee a minute. So if it is 50,000 rupees, it becomes 5 rupees a minute and so on. So this is the real cost of time, or COT, which I introduced in my book on Hurconomics. Actual opportunity cost, because the company pays this much of money and expects the value addition of an employee. Now I used a very crude formula in identifying the opportunity cost. I simply divided the annual turnover of the company by the people costs. So if your annual turnover is 100 crores and people cost is about 10 crores, so it is 10 times the opportunity cost. By spending 10 crores on human beings, you expect a 100 crore turnover. So 1:10 is the ratio. In most manufacturing companies, it is about 8 times. In oil industry, it may be 20 to 50 times. In telecom and finance and IT industry, it is about 4 times. So that means when you are paying 10,000 rupees a month to an employee, or 50,000 rupees a month to an employee, you are paying 5 rupees a minute, but the expected outcome of the 5 rupees a minute is in a manufacturing industry about 8 to 10 times, that is about 50 rupees a minute. In IT industry, it is about 4 times, about 20 rupees a minute, and in oil industry, it may be a lot more. So this is what I called as the opportunity cost, or OCOT, opportunity cost. Now both these formula are meant to communicate to us the talent costs. So in one case, the talent cost is the actual cost that the company incurs, and what do you get out of this opportunity cost. Now to make sure that the time that is invested on people or their talent should give you the right kind of returns, you need to have certain attitude, certain way of looking at, certain way of respecting human beings and so on. So that is what this entire Hurconomics about. I used a very simple concept. CTC divided by number of minutes of work in a year. Number of hours, divide first by the number of days and the hours and so on. I think simplest thing to calculate is per minute cost of an employee is the RCOT, real cost, and the per minute output of an employee expected, of course, not taking into account the machinery cost, the material cost, the processing cost, and other kind of things. This is a very crude way of looking. It is the opportunity cost, is the return on investment you expect. Now, the main reason why I promoted this concept in Hurconomics book is that this is a way to respect talent. Now, if you look at a secretary and you tell yourself, oh my God, a 5 minute conversation with the girl is going to cost to the company 5 rupees, so I have to make a meaningful conversation. Or a 15-minute tea break is going to cost 15 rupees, and the opportunity cost is about as much as about 5 to 10 times. That is about a 15-minute break would cost about 75 to 5 multiplied by 15 to 10 multiplied by 15, about 150 rupees. Then you are very careful in terms of using the time of your secretary. So your respect for talent should go up. So the main reason behind Hurconomics is to enhance our respect for talent by having the right kind of recruitment strategies, right kind of talent management strategies, including performance appraisal, 360 feedback, and other kind of things. This is what I have explained in the rest of my book. This book has almost about 13 chapters, each chapter devoted to one of the important parts of our HR kind of interventions. And I have argued why do we need to spend time and what is the way to make our investments on various HR interventions productive and things like that. I'm sure you will enjoy going through this particular book and going through these short lectures. I'm not going to be giving this long a lecture in the remaining sessions. It is likely to be limited to a 5-minute talk in the remaining 15 and odd sessions. So you will have some interesting fun, and this will be made available once a week or twice a week. All the best from TVRLS, and I hope you will enjoy these sessions and particularly get hold of a copy of this book. This is available, Hurconomics, Hurconomics. Type it on internet, you will have it online from Pearson Education Series. All the best, and thank you very much.